And Mark, I want to ask you, I mean, what is your reaction to this nationwide response to the verdict? People are protesting in the streets all over the country. The Attorney General has weighed in on this, and I think what was interesting to me, being a native New Yorker, I picked up the newspaper, and the New York Daily News had a cover yesterday. I hope you can see it, which was fascinating to me. I mean, it sort of talks about Emmett Till, James Byrd Jr., and then Trayvon Martin, lumping this incident into just the civil rights frame. What is your response to all of this?
Well, initially, I was very surprised because I thought the world, the universe, the nation looked at every moment of the trial, listened to it, understood that this was a true case of self-defense, understood that at the very least it was a tragic intersection of two people's lives that ended up in a death, but that it was not a racial event by everything that came out in that courtroom. So when I woke up the next day to all these protests, I was really surprised, but then I realized the people who have opinions in this case are not going to change them no matter what, and they just weren't going to change them based upon the facts in the case. It's unfortunate, but I think that's what happened. I was also quite surprised that the Justice Department came out and said that they were going to look into this. They started their investigation over a year ago when the FBI interviewed 40 people or so, and every one of them said that George Zimmerman was meek, mild, and absolute non-racist, sort of a provable non-racist. And I think that may have been a situation where they are placating some of the anger and trying to address it in a nice way, but I don't see a DOJ investigation moving forward with any speed whatsoever.
And if perhaps there are charges filed by the Justice Department, would you be defending George Zimmerman in a case like that?
Absolutely.
And what about future lawsuits? You know, people are discussing whether or not George Zimmerman may file a civil suit of his own. Is he going to do something like that? We
really haven't talked it through very much, and of course I've not had an in-depth conversation with George about the prosecutor's reactions and the inappropriateness of their reactions. That's probably closer to the top of my mind as to some type of redress than anything else. I know that George would rather just move on with his life. Unfortunately, that'll never happen. We'll see how the litigation goes and what we'll react to if anyone else files.